basically we've got a bit of a production line going. We've got Mel, the composer, who's working on a daily basis on the audio files, which basically consist of all the poetry, the poems that have been chosen by the creative team to use in the piece, and then he's adding sort of layers to these. He's doing a lot of editing of these poems and taking out bits and pieces and doing some interesting juxtapositions of different source material. And then he's adding various music tracks to these.
Beside the sea, blue pebbles lying.
7 to severe gale 9, moderate or poor. Southwest 40s, chromaty 4 time dogger. Southwest 40s,
Beside the sea.
So he's working sort of pretty much flat out, sort of in his little studio, just up the hill on that, and then every day he comes down with what he's put together, which is in the form of audio files, and they then have to be entered onto the main laptop that we're using to kind of control this whole test system. And this allows us to play what he has done over the system here, so he can hear it actually exactly as it will sound to the visitors who come to the installation in July. Because the installation is designed to be seen at night, we work at night, so basically we wait till dusk and then we start work, and we finish when we finish, which is sometimes later than you might want. Like all the other people involved in this project on site, it's kind of all hands to the pumps really at the moment, because this is, as I said just now, this is just an opportunity for us to make sure everything is doing what we want it to do and sounds the way it should sound. And so really we've had a lot of problems over, as you probably know, with the weather this summer and other things. So it's really, when you get a crisis or you meet something like that, everybody has to pitch in, and so it's not just sitting at a computer. It's a lot more to it than that, which makes it quite a mixture of stuff.
Can you tell me about the layout of the tents and how they're arranged into sections?
Well, the idea is that when you walk onto the site, it's supposed to look completely random. So you're looking at a collection of tents that are just put up in any way. But obviously you can't actually just rig the site like that, because you'd end up with, we want an optimum distance between tents in order to make the sound work in the way it's been designed to work. The distance between the loudspeakers, i.e. the tents, has to be between two maximum minimum figures, and they're quite close together. So we've tried to make sure that all the tents are roughly the same distance apart, but at the same time we're trying to make it not look like they're in lines or in a checkerboard pattern or whatever. So we do have a system of rigging the tents based on a kind of regular, recurrent pattern, a bit like a honeycomb.
Yes.
But the idea is that when you walk onto the site and walk around it, it doesn't look like that. We've run in cables to all the tents, which we won't be able to do on the actual locations. Obviously, there won't be any cables. But here, just for ease of rigging and for various practical reasons, we've got wires going everywhere. So I have to keep an eye on those. And when people come at night, if they're not used to the site, even those of us who are used to the site, we all trip over cables in the middle of the night and go flying.
At the moment, you've got these cables, but in the actual installation,
it'll be really neat. I mean, it'll be fantastic to the visitors, because there won't be, literally, you'll just have the tents and there'll be nothing else. There won't be a porter cabin like this on the site. You'll just have a group of tents in a field, all lit up at night. It does look fantastic. You've seen it yourself. You walk down to the field in the evening or dusk, and as the daylight fades, the lights and the tent seem to become brighter, and they produce a fantastic glow. You'll hear all this stuff and you'll see the lights, and there'll be no obvious way of that happening. So I think it will be a magical experience, and that's just down to the technology that we've put together and assembled to make it work. I mean, it's not high technology particularly, although quite a lot of design and development has gone into it to making it do what we want it to do. But it's just, like any installation, you just want it to look right and just have, you don't want any unnecessary, you don't want anything else but what is the piece to be obvious, and that's how it'll be.